evening, everyone! Welcome back once again to Vicious Rants, and of course I am your host, your YouTube messiah and often imitated, never duplicated superstar Tim Vicious, and gonna go over Raw this week. Was it in Greensboro, North Carolina? That's right, it was in North Kakalaki. Now, before we do though, unfortunately, the two dreaded words in WWE loomed over the heads this week, and budget cuts happened again. It wound up hitting, and it was on NXT though, and they took, there was a handful of names. The ones that stick out the most is Malcolm Bivens, Dakota Kai, Persia Parada, and Dexter Lumis. Yeah. It sucks. It really sucks when you see talent that you really like go, or not go, but let go like that. And I mean, I honestly, I got nothing but hope for nothing but the best for them. But an old lesson I got taught long ago, and not just for wrestling, but in life in general. Anytime, if you ever get fired from a job and you feel like you were let go wrong for the wrong reasons, you got two options. You could sit there and get mad and get bitter over it, or you could go out there, bust your ass, and say, you know what? You wanted to let me go? Fine. Fuck you. I'm going to show the world just how damn good I am and on why you let me go. Why you didn't feel the need I was that good enough for you. So, fuck it. And, you know, use that as motivation to make yourself better. That's just me, though. So, now with that said, let us switch gears, talk about last week via the SmackDown Rewind, and the big highlights from last week's SmackDown. Drew McIntyre beat Sami Zayn in a solid steel cage match. Ricochet beat Shanky in defending his Intercontinental Championship. Raquel Rodriguez had made her SmackDown debut again, going against a local hometown jobber, which, whew, doggy, that jobber, whew, she was something else. Needed some heart pills on that for her. Naomi beat Shayna Baszler. There was some hullabaloo on that. And then, and then Ronda and Charlotte had a beat the clock challenge. Ronda set the clock at 1:41 against Shotzi. And then Charlotte lost the beat the clock challenge against Aaliyah. Charlotte then proceeded to take her frustration out over losing said challenge on one Drew Gulak, who was the guest timekeeper for the night. And you know, a lot of people are shitting on the idea of Gulak being used as an interviewer or backstage or for this or for that instead of being in the ring. Okay, I get that. Me personally, though, I like it because, you know, and again, an old lesson I learned, not just for wrestling, but in life in general. When it comes to a job, the more feathers you can put in your hat, the more job security you have. And Drew, while he's amazing in the ring, no doubt on that, one of the best technicians out there. And he's got that kind of quirky, dry humor that just hits me, and I just look, I'm like, this motherfucker can work it, man. He's good. You know, he could do that awkward backstage interviewer kind of attitude. The whole time, anytime the camera panned over to him as a timekeeper, holding up the little hammer. You know, being Adam Pearce's protege / apprentice, whatever it was. You know, he can do it. And not only that, that's also relatively good job security if you're going to be trained, because I'm trying to think of the right way I want to say this. And I'm not saying this as an insult, but if the company doesn't want to use you in the ring, and they say, and they're offering you a chance to do that instead, you know, and you still want to be with the company, take it. You know, again, you're not happy with where you work, leave, quit. If Drew Gulak is not happy working there, feels like, oh, I'm not being utilized right, I should be wrestling 5 nights a week, this, that, and the other, then you know what? Quit. Go home. Go home. Doesn't matter on how much time you got left on your contract. If you got 6 months or 6 years, you know, you sit at home, you get in the best goddamn shape of your life, and then after you're done all that, you go out there, and again, like I said, you show the world just on how damn good you are. And if, we'll just say for the hell of it, like I said, you got 6 months or 6 years left on the contract, and you're sitting it off at home, company's got 2 options. They're either going to sit you out, and you're going to get a paycheck every other week while you're at home, or they're eventually going to say, hey, why don't you come in, let's have a talk, and you're either going to make a deal or they're going to say, fuck it, we're done. It's that simple. Yeah. So with that said, now also big highlight, also do want to note one big thing from SmackDown as well. When the contract signing took place for the Usos and Randy Orton tag match, there was hullabaloo mayhem going on. Roman came out, and then Drew McIntyre came in to save Riddle and Orton, and then McIntyre pitched the idea to Adam Pearce that the match now be made into a 6-man. So it is now a trios match going into Backlash this coming Sunday. So with that said, let's get into this week's show, Raw. It starts off with the family, the bloodline, the one and only Roman Reigns coming out with mein savior, Paul Heyman, and the Usos come out. Roman just gets on. Paul announces Roman Reigns. This is the part where I tell you all, ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to announce to you the reigning, defending, undisputed WWE Universal Heavyweight Champion of the world, Roman Reigns. Roman then gets on the mic. Greensboro, acknowledge me. And just as he does that, Riddle and Orton, boom, both come in right out of nowhere, hit double RKO in stereo. They get off and they're all like, yeah! And then they're staring off and Roman's like, you boys really? Okay, listen, I'll whoop both your asses. And he's just looking like that. And then next thing you know, McIntyre's music hits. Drew comes out, sword in hand. And then Riddle and Orton, they're just like, alright, let him handle this shit. And then Roman's just looking like, oh, hey now, whoa. Let's talk about this for a minute there. Ain't no need to go and swing that thing. And then Drew, before he even gets in the ring, sword, drops it, just like a mic drop. And then gets in, starts throwing rounds at Roman. And then it turns into a big mayhem where staff from the back and refs come out to separate everyone. And yeah, hell of a good start to the show. Nice hot start. So, unfortunately, there was no follow-up for the rest of the night on it. So, while it was a hot start, personally, I feel like it kind of felt flat because now we got nowhere to go from there for the rest of the night. They're obviously going to follow up with it on Friday, so yeah. Now with that said, let's get into first match of the night. Kevin Owens and Alpha Academy, Chad Gable and Otis going against the Street Profits and Ezekiel, because backstage they showed a segment where the Prophets were giving Ezekiel his what appeared to be his very first drink in a solo cup, because Ezekiel was like, whoa, like, you know, pretty sure that's everyone's first ever reaction anytime pretty sure that's everyone's first reaction whenever they have their first sip of whiskey. But they're doing that, and then Alpha Academy comes over. Oh, look at you guys drinking on the job. You should be ashamed of yourselves, blah, 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 blah. And then Kevin Owens steps in, which kudos to Kevin Owens also for wearing a Becky Lynch shirt during that segment. Kevin Owens steps in, talks about on how Street Profits are running around hanging out with a liar. They're cheating a liar. you know, and then there's ways to falsify a lie detector test, and we know that you faked it. We'll figure out on how to prove that you're really Elias and all this, that, and the other, and then they say that they have a match later on, and now we get to the match. It was a good opening with the faces leading into the break. Post-break, though, the heels wound up leading, with Ford being the punching bag, and Ezekiel got the hot tag in. He started working, and I gotta tell you, you know, the more I keep seeing Zeke work, the more I'm starting to think maybe he really is Elias's brother, because, you know, he don't work like Elias does. So, yeah, maybe. Either way, though, it was a good opening match. It came to an end when Ezekiel was running against the ropes. Owens grabbed his leg, tripped him, and then walked up the ramp after he did it. Excuse me. After he tripped him, though, then Gable wound up doing an inside cradle onto him. Got the 1, 2, 3. That was it. Next matchup, we got Veer Mahaan going against a local town jobber. And, yeah, they had Saxton interview the jobber saying, why did you choose to do this match against Veer? And he pretty much gave like a James Ellsworth, any man with two hands has got a fighting chance type promo, which, yeah. Okay, yeah, we know on how this went. It was a squash. Veer got the win. Moving forward, next matchup, we got Damian Priest going against AJ Styles again, which I cannot complain on because these guys perform so damn well. However, have to make a note on that statement later. However, there was a stipulation added that if AJ wins, then Damian Priest is barred from ringside during AJ and Edge's match coming up this Sunday at Backlash. So, and, you know, I'll be the first to say it now. I fucking love Edge's new theme. I like it. I really like it. It is damn good. Now, as far as this match, Priest, he was leading with him and was working on AJ's shoulder for the most part. And if you watch the match, you could see AJ had the K tape wrapped around it, you know, for whether it's legit or not, but either way. You know, and that's the one good thing you could say about with the athletic kinesiology tape. It helps add for a story because you could say you can make an argument saying that that's a target, you know. Just like the old cliche about wrestlers having bandages wrapped around their ribs, you know, same difference. You can have the tape wrapped around your knee. Oh, now you have a target. Oh, you can have it you have it go over your elbow. Now you got a target there. Shoulder, same thing. Whatever. Just saying. You know, it's an obvious sign of the times change and evolution and all that jazz. But damn good match. I fucking liked it. Really liked it. AJ started to build up a bit of a comeback post-break. And the match came to an end when AJ was going for the calf killer. Edge got up on the apron just as AJ was about to wrench it back. Edge got up on the apron. He got up. It's like, what the hell? Edge climbed down. Alright. It's alright. It's all good, man. Next thing you know, Priest and AJ, they were tussling around a little, and then AJ wound up doing like a kata roll up on him and got the win 1, 2, 3. After the match, though, they started to do a post-match beatdown. They were getting ready to do a one-man concerto on him again, and then Finn came out, helped save AJ, and then they threw Too Sweet to each other, which brought back such good memories of their match at TLC in 2017. And I guarantee if fucking Meltzer had that match in the Tokyo Dome, it would have got 13.25 stars. Now with that said, let's move on. Next match was a handicap match. Ali going against Theory and Miz, and this came to be because during a Miz TV segment, Miz brought out his guest Mustafa Ali, and then Miz throwing a lot of inside baseball terms, talking about on how, with the whole free Ali thing, Ali asking for his release, this, that, and the other kind of stuff. And then Ali just basically just keeping cool on it, talking about on how, hey, yeah, you know what though? I beat your ass last week. And then Theory came out, talking on how, I talked to my mentor, Mr. McMahon, and I asked him, and he officially removed that match from the records. Thank you, Theory. That was very nice of you. Yep. So yeah, and then Theory proceeded to go on saying on how Ali doesn't deserve a shot at the championship, he's unworthy, this, that, and the other. And then said that he also asked McMahon if he could have a match with Ali going against Theory and The Miz in a 2-on-1 handicap. And this was actually, I fucking liked this match because this was on how a handicap match should go. You have one guy going against 2 or more people. You know what happens when you do that kind of a handicap match? You should have the team that has the advantage take hold of it, which they fucking did, thank fucking God, because I fucking hate when you have handicap matches and you have the one single guy beat a team of 2 or 3 or 4 or whatever. I mean, short from unless they are like someone like a big Andre the Giant type dude, it makes no fucking sense. Because you could be the biggest, most badass motherfucker on the planet. But if you got 2, 3, or 4 people coming at you all at the same time, there's no way you're going to be able to take them all down at once. That's just impossible. I dug the shit out of this match for that. Really dug it. The heels were leading the pace. It came to an end though when Miz, boom, popped a skull crushing finale onto Ali after he was distracted by Theory. After the match, then when Ali was getting up, licking his wounds, Tommaso Ciampa came out of nowhere, did a sneak attack again. No answer, no what's going on this or anything. I'm digging it because they're setting up Ali versus Theory, and then that's going to be a beautiful transition going from once that's done to Ali versus Ciampa. So you're getting 2 different feuds set up at the same time. Now with that said, now we got women's action. Dana Brooke going against Nikki A.S.H. And this came to be from a backstage segment where Dana and Reggie were arguing over the wedding ceremony. And then Truth stepped in, was showing that he's a certifiable marriage counselor, and talking about all that. And then Nikki out of nowhere came in, did a dive onto Dana, threw everyone out the way, did a quick 1, 2, 3, and then Nikki A.S.H. became your 24/7 champion. Now we got this match. So, and this was kind of ho-hum kind of a filler match. It was, I don't like typically using this term, but it was a let-me-up moment. It was a let-me-up match. That's what it was, honestly. Dana Brooke got the win. She did her little cartwheel move, and then after that, she got the pin, 1, 2, 3. Afterwards, she was announced the winner, and then Akira, and then Tamina, and then Reggie, and then Truth. Well, it was Akira, then Tamina, and then Truth, and then Reggie on the outside, and then Dana full-blown going like postal angry, like full-blown angry postal married woman on him. And then got on the mic, Reggie, I've had enough of this. I want a divorce. And then we see a segment later where Truth is walking with Reggie. Man, it's okay. You lost the love of your life. I lost the love of mine. She's now around Dana Brooke's waist. But good thing for you, I'm also a certifiable divorce lawyer. My card. We'll get you back what you want. You did have a prenup, right? What's a prenup? Which made me almost have an aneurysm like, the fuck? How do you walk into a wedding without even at least knowing, not even saying you're getting one, but at least knowing what the term prenup is? Like, ugh. Yeah. And then after that, you see Nikki just sitting there all sad, depressed looking. Dewdrop comes over. You had enough of this. Come on now. Let's go take care of some business. So yeah. Next up now we got Bobby Lashley doing a squash match against Cedric Alexander because Cedric came up to MVP one-on-one saying he wants back in with P. And it's like, no, man. Listen, I'm done with that. That part of my life is done. Right now, I'm working with Omos here, and we're focusing on his match coming up this Sunday. So, Cedric then proceeded to want to have this match to try and prove to P that he is good enough for him. And this went about as well as a 6-year-old going against Mike Tyson in his prime. Yeah. All the while, MVP was standing at the entranceway with Omos on the mic giving commentary the whole time. And I'm just like, oh, that's good. That's good shit right there. Yeah. Bobby Lashley got the win with the Hurt Lock. Like I said, it was like having a 6-year-old going against Tyson in his prime. And after the match, Bobby was like, come on. That was it. So now we come to the main event of the night. 6 women tag action. Becky Lynch, Rhea Ripley, and Sonya Deville. Whew, lordy. And this came to be because they showed a backstage segment where Adam Pearce was talking to Sonya about her actions last week during her match with Bianca Belair, saying that you have no authoritative figure tonight. You have no authoritative power tonight, I should say. And you are going to be just a simple competitor, and you're going to be competing in a 6-woman tag match. And the opponents, Liv Morgan, Bianca Belair, and Asuka. And in case anyone's wondering, yes, I did take my heart pills, otherwise I wouldn't be here right now. Moving forward, nice back and forth action to start with the heels leading into the break. Liv wound up being the punching bag. Post-break. And then Bianca got the hot tag in for a hot minute. And then Asuka got the tag in, which got the biggest reaction out of the crowd. And good action going all around. Dug the shit out of it. It was a good match. It came to an end when Sonya had Liv pinned. She had her feet up on the ropes. The ref was arguing while she still had it up, and she just was yelling at the ref, make the count, make the count, make the count. And then Bianca, who's on the outside, was like, fuck this shit. Threw her legs down, and then Sonya got up, started arguing, what the hell's wrong with you? What are you doing? What are you thinking? Blah, 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 blah. Turns around, next thing you know, Liv Morgan, boom, hits an oblivion. 1, 2, 3, that is it. Stick a fork in her. She is done. And yeah, so while I'm happy to see that Liv Morgan finally got a justified win that she so willingly deserved, I'm also a little sad because now I can't laugh at the angry Liv Morgan fangirls complaining going in all fats rage on Twitter. I'm torn. Yeah, so either way, that is it for this week's show, folks. So please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, go back, watch some of the other episodes when you can. Look for me on the Twitter at TimVicious. Thank you to my executive producer, Ali Ray Ben, who did help provide the music for this week's show. Make sure y'all check it out. It's on iTunes, Spotify, YouTube, SoundCloud. All that good shit details are down below. Also, thank you to contributor of the show, LFC Laundry, Fighting Championship. There are a little bit of wrestling, a little bit of MMA, and a whole lot of attractive women wearing a little bit of nothing. Also, folks, don't forget to follow these cool-ass cats already on the Twitter, Kenny Killer, DSB_IV, Diabolica RA, Sergeant Curry Pants and Dubs in your face. Also, don't forget to check out whatamaneuver.net for one of these sweet-ass vicious rants shirts. Help support the show. And folks, like I always tell y'all, you love me great, you hate me. Fuck you.